Okay, so the recording has started, and I'm covering for John John today. He normally does this particular call. He's traveling, I don't know, somewhere over in Europe, and so he wasn't able to do it today. We have kind of a short agenda, so maybe there's other business and stuff that people want to talk to. But the first item is for Emily to talk about EclipseCon France and anything related to that.
Yeah, so this year, EclipseCon France gave us dedicated microservice track to get some focus on the MicroProfile and E4J. So we really want to seize this opportunity to make sure we submit as many talks on MicroProfile as possible. So it's to demonstrate actually it's to the community the MicroProfile is the future to do the microservices. So if we have a really nice sessions in the EclipseCon France, and then I think it's very likely we'll push it to the EclipseCon Europe. So this is a really good opportunity for us all.
So how big a conference is it?
It's about 300 people.
So is there going to be a limit on the number of sessions that they can accept for a given track?
It's over 2 days. Yeah, it's over 2 days, and basically we have a dedicated a room. I think it's the session. We can have quite a lot of sessions because can be lightning talks and can be a presentation and a demo and etc. The 35 minutes or 15 or the 5 minutes lightning talk. So we can cover a lot of sessions actually in these 2 days because we have this track. Obviously, you can talk about Java EE, but if we have a lot, hopefully we can get half MicroProfile talks.
Okay. So who's on the committee to decide the content?
Me. And
talk about bias, Emily. Talk about bias.
And I'm one of the people. I'll be leading this track. I know that David Dalabasi also being part of the program. I think is to cover some E4G stuff. Obviously, some I think it's for the vote and etc. And some other committee members. I think that they can voice their opinions as well. But I will be managing this track.
Okay. So you said that that this track then has a dedicated room. So we basically can fill that room for 2 days with talks related to E4J or MicroProfile.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this track will run from Wednesday to Thursday, 2 days.
It sounds like an conference to me, if it's that flexible.
What kind of conference?
What?
Unconference. It means you go in there and you don't, you can talk about anything that you see fit. No.
It's different. So, do you know this track is the same for when Kevin said a dedicated room. This is the kind of, you've been to DevOps, have you? In the DevOps, you have a track. Basically, it's on the schedule. On the schedule, you say, okay, from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay, this is the track for the MicroProfile and E4J. So this track have a dedicated room. Basically, it's okay, MicroProfile, E4J, MicroProfile, E4J, or MicroProfile. So there's you still need to. It's no difference from other conference. So it's not an conference. It's a proper conference.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's the same as like even Java 1. In Java 1, you have a different track, and you talk about different topic, but it's kind of we do the Java EE or MicroProfile or E4J So we have like 6 or 7 tracks, I think.
When is when is Eclipse France? Is it April or June? I can't.
June 13th and 14th June.
Well, hopefully by then there is things to talk about EE4J, because stuff is happening as we speak.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So that's why I think is a kind of joint. And anyway, they work together anyway. MicroProfile and EE4J, we all involved in both communities. So it's quite nice.
So maybe you said this while I was typing here. Did you mention when the call for papers ends?
It's a February. Let me find out which date. It's 19th March.
Oh, that's quite a ways out.
Yeah, so it's the 5th March early bird deadline. 5 talks chosen for early acceptance. So it's if only 10 talks submitted before 5th March, and you will have a half chance.
Okay.
I'm going to submit some.
And revise it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, and I will encourage every one of you submit some talks. And if we can get a lot, people like from IBM, Payara, all the players in the MicroProfile, and then we can have kind of like what we have done in Java 1. We have a kind of get together thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's quite cool. This is I think we should get together and have a proper discussion as well. Or maybe it's I will see whether we can get both as well. Like MicroProfile and E4G. I will see whether we can get a room in the evening, like Wednesday evening, etc., to get both.
Yeah, and if we can get those type of things scheduled beforehand so that we aren't relying on a whiteboard.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean, Kevin.
So Emily,
yeah, I will look into it. Get both.
When you are, as you create the skeleton for the event, when you see the community, can you also see marketing so that the team knows what's up and they can do a good PR, a more aggressive PR on, via Twitter especially, to focus on people in France and what is happening, so that.
Yeah, exactly. I already sent. I don't know. Maybe you haven't read my message. I already said in both MicroProfile marketing and MicroProfile about this conference, the about Eclipse conference. If you search Eclipse conference, you can see you can see my messages. And also, I tweeted about it already. So I think maybe it's like in a couple of weeks' time, I will, remind people again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it will be good, Amelia. You can, advertise it from your own Twitter. I know you are pretty active and have many followers.
We will, all of us. The responsibility is for everyone. But I think we're creating some setups that will enable you and everyone that goes to a conference to say via MicroProfile IO, I am going to attend this conference, and that message will be sent directly to the marketing team without having to send an email to the, we got creating different emails. It's going to be one direct channel so that the team is equipped to handle future things before they happen, at least with a month in advance. So
I already created the email in the Google group already. So I will remind people again. yeah, a couple of weeks time, and then when before the deadline, I will remind them again. But it would be nice, like multiple people can do the same thing. Like maybe sometimes Kevin can bring it up, or sometimes Amelia. Then it's not. It seems I'm not only one shouting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is this is a good chance. If we play well, I think our message will travel far and wide. So and then is some other conference I think might follow the suit, like DevOps and etc.
No, Cesar, we cannot hear you.
Hear me, right?
Just barely. I think.
Are you joking or you can hear me?
No, we can barely hear you.
Now is it
coming
better?
across with a whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot hear him.
So, Emily?
Better?
There,
Yeah.
that's better.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, a lot better. Yes, Kevin.
So for this EclipseCon France, is that a big enough conference? Like, do they have any, expo area or booths or anything?
Yes, we will. By the way, the IBM is sponsoring. IBM will have a booth. I know, Cesar, you mentioned that you are going to sponsor it. I think you need to get in touch with Perry. Similar thing for Amelia. So we will have a booth, Kevin, for IBM. Also is we are also talking about the unconference stuff, and then it's like a detail to follow. And actually, I had a chat with Amy from IBM. I know a lot of people have seen Amy. Amy ran in the Java one. She ran the breakfast get together, and we might be able to do a similar thing in the Eclipse conference. So bring all the MicroProfile people together. So I think it's I think for other sponsorship, I know Cesar is going to sponsor as well. So
yeah, I need to ping Perry. I owe her a reply. I was traveling all week last week, so it was tough for me to get back. I'm catching up still. I have a question for you, Emily. What do you have in mind for the track? For example, I mean, do you want to have, since E4J is still, in the works, I'm assuming that probably most of the content will be more related to MicroProfile as opposed to E4J, right? And
I really wanted to have a more focus in the MicroProfile, so that's why but if we don't submit many good MicroProfile talks, so I have to spread, maybe it's to take on some other microservices related talk. So that's why I really want us to work together to submit many interesting talks. And if we don't get enough talk, I cannot say, okay, this talk, we have to do this talk.
Right.
So
I'm thinking you probably want a talk, at least a talk per sub project, right?
Yeah. So like all the MicroProfile 1.2, 1.3, and also some other interesting thing happening using this kind of case study and etc. And that's all really nice.
What about the presenters themselves? Would you like to have a mix? Because there are the companies that implement MicroProfile, like Red Hat, IBM, Tommy Tribe, and then there is the users that end users that you probably want them to talk or present as well. What do you have in mind as far as the mix of? Because you probably don't want it all to be just vendor related presentations, right? Or
let me find your doubts, says I'm not trying to get all IBMers.
No, that's not what I meant.
Kevin.
I'm just saying because like in conferences, with Red Hat and past employers, you really want customers presenting.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Impact.
Yeah, that would be cool, like from all different background and etc.
But we haven't done anything to in December, last call, we said, and John was in that call, we said we will create 3 to 5 short videos enabling users to understand each project, technically speaking. Last time I checked, there were about 7 to 8 projects like metrics and JSR and all these things. I understand that it will be much more practical to have sessions in 2018 about MicroProfile by projects. We can have one that says, the whole implementation, but I think we should defocus on generalization when we talk about the France, which is in June, a few months from now. We have enough time to see if the leads from each of the projects can ship someone or can go themselves and speak about the specification they are really focused on. I think we should be better at distributing the knowledge all over the place. Most of the things we have seen in the complaint from the community has been when there is a talk about MicroProfile, it's too general. I am interested in X. I would like to go to X. For instance, some people are interested in security, so they go to those tags. Some people are interested on, something else. They go to. So why don't we focus on specifics and we help you get really good tags? We should have abstracts already shared with the community via Google, and only those that are members can have access to submit, make the abstracts better. Those abstracts that we create this year can be used by anyone, not only clients, but also future microprofilers. We need to enable and start with that knowledge. And when one of the questions that Kevin asked via email was, why are we using eForms to gather technical content for the different projects? And the question, the answer.
Wait, Amelia, can we wait until we are actually done with the EclipseCon before we get into the eForm stuff?
Because it links. Everything is linked about how we communicate and focus on getting stuff done for MicroProfile to do better and enabling others besides the 10 or 15 that joined this call.
So can I speak up? Because I agree with Kevin, and I said this last time we met. I don't understand the point of that form because there is already a process for adding committers and getting everybody involved in the community. Why do we need another one?
It's not a process. It is you want to know who is doing works and metrics. Can anyone here list exactly the team that is working on metrics?
Yes, I can, because if you go to the website, there's a project for metrics, and there's a list of all the committers who have committed anything to it. We wrote that. We wrote that technology.
Yeah, but besides Git, there is no additions to this person. Who is this person in Twitter or email? So this form enables all the data.
Okay. Hold on. I'm not sure that it's correct that there isn't a reference to them in Twitter, because I believe that's also a part of the infrastructure of the website, that it puts everyone's Twitter handle on their picture.
I haven't seen it. Show it.
Here, let me go to
everyone. It seems to me that all the projects, the technical projects, are working, but we are not feeding each other. Besides this code that says, "Give us a status of what's up," right? So the comments, the core people working in each technical project should have their data. This form can be linked to Eclipse Infra or.
Okay. Let me share my screen.
Go ahead.
I don't know when this starts.
This is the first time I use it soon, right, Kevin?
Yep. There he goes. It's
okay. So if we go to projects, there's you can see yourselves here. I suppose I can. If we go to projects, there's all the stuff. So there's the health check. And if we click on that, here's all the people who have worked on the health check. And if we click on one of them, we get all of their information.
It doesn't have the Twitter. That is what we use.
You could add that.
We can certainly add that.
It's up to each individual as to what they put on their GitHub profile.
Remember, some of them don't have a Twitter account. We cannot force people. You must have a Twitter account to be able to contribute in MicroProfile.
That is true, but most of us.
But basically, what this was designed to do is provide visibility on who's doing what at no human cost. So we don't have to continuously fill out a form that I'm working on this project. The second you commit anything, you show up automatically.
Okay, that is great. So why don't we have this data in the Gits to say, this is what happened, this is where you contact, because guess what? Not everyone like goes to each project and say, you know, sugarcoat who is in all the projects.
Well, right now, all of the chatter happens on the main MicroProfile list.
Well, and the getter lists, the IRC. I mean, that's another good way for if you want to jump in and start talking about, you know, let's say MicroProfile metrics, and you go to their getter right there, chat on getter, and you click on that, you're right in there talking with that team.
See, look what I just did. Now I'm chatting.
I love it. I love it.
I don't think it's that hard. I think actually we've done a pretty great job of putting visibility on who's doing what in the different projects.
But it's too distributed. Let's focus. What I'm saying is that not everyone joins these calls. Not everyone knows how to reach out to the MicroProfile. What we have seen in the past in 2017 is that people come individually and say, how can I get involved? So then they get invited to this call, or we say, join us in this conference. And then it goes like this. But some of us.
We could certainly put the meeting times on this page.
Something that will create all of it into one meeting, you know, calendar, join this call, it lacks scalability is
okay, what I'm saying is that the effort involved to making even this wasn't necessarily small.
I know.
And the idea behind it is that it shows the holistic picture. So if there's more that it could show, let's make those improvements.
That sounds wonderful.
I would like to make sure that there isn't additional work for developers, that they just show up. Do you know what I mean? Like.
So then add for each project the links of when the meetings are, and say join the call. You know, download the calendar or something, because.
Sure, we could add a little link over here on the side, meetings, or it could be in the README. If you put it in the README, no work has to be done, but then everybody on the projects has to be diligent, and they got to put their meeting information in here.
Whatever we do to scale the data sounds great to me.
Whatever the community wants, I'm totally fine for it. I would just prefer to build it into the site so that it's standard for all the different projects and there's no additional work.
It sounds awesome. Let's build it in the site.
The thing is, whatever we do is need to be a link to the calendar. Otherwise, it's very easy to be auto sync.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like if you know, all this is basically pulled together by like there's a YAML file for each project.
Yep.
And the YAML file is in the project itself. And so if there was a calendar entry, we could put that right here in the top above other projects, you know, external resource documents, you know, group meetings or something like that. And then whoever's maintaining that repo just needs to put the calendar link in there and it would show up. Something like that.
Who wants to own that task to gather all the leads from each project to help implement this in the next month?
That is the whole beauty of this, is that there is no task to gather. It's basically the infrastructure for the websites are basically that YAML file is the configuration for what shows up here. So we would just need to write something so that it shows up here, and then all different projects, if they have weekly meetings or whatever regular schedule, they would be required to put that information in their GitHub repo, and they would just show up.
So then we're going to write in the minutes that this is going to change in the next month.
I think I would, before we spend development time building it, I would want to make sure we got what people want.
Okay.
So, you know, you're the one who wants to make sure that the meeting information is shown. My preference is it'd be on this page somewhere if we're going to do something like that. can you start a thread to organize gathering requirements? And then once they're gathered and everyone's input is there, we execute.
You're talking to me?
Yes.
I will do that. Simple. You know, 2018, the 3 first months are about scalability. So that is all we need. All we need is scalability. How do we scale with ourselves so that others,
Sure.
and there is no excuse to say, I didn't know.
Yep.
And I'll point out lots of the projects use the documentation feature of the website, and it doesn't go unused.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we're going to go in there and make improvements, I think we should just get what people want. I don't know if we're listing all the specifications for each project there. We should probably do that. There could be a little section of the side there that says specifications in each version. Because, you know, making one change is the same as making 3 changes, depending on if they're small, equally, you know.
I will call the thread IO improvements on what is gathered by.
That's absolutely fine. You can make the thread. You can list a suggestion of the meeting calendar links on the project page and see if anybody else has anything that they would want to be added to the page.
I will use Twitter to freaking ask this. I will add the link and as I go to Twitter.
Half the work is organizing the requirements gathering, so you are welcome to take that work.
Okay. Moving on.
Can we go back to the conference to see anybody else?
Sorry for the detour. Go ahead.
Are there any other comments or any other questions?
So, Emily, the guidance for the call for papers, while you guys were talking, I went to Eclipse Conference and I got to the page that talks about the call for papers and the track for microservices, MicroProfile E4J and Java EE.
Yeah.
It's just like one line. Do you want to put
one line? No, if you click it, there's a description.
Yeah, but it's 3 lines.
Okay, yeah.
So, like for other conferences, what I've seen is that they have like a presentation, like a multi-page thing with you know, what kinds of topics around the subject they would like to hear about, or you know, the papers to be about, and some examples. I don't know if you want to put that together with what you have in mind for the track for potential writers or authors.
In the track, I said actually the listed like most of the MicroProfile programming model, like builder, fault tolerance, microservices, and tracing, and security, and etc. Yeah, it's most about MicroProfile programming model, and plus other Java EE technologies. So that's pretty much actually. Yeah, so it's all about MicroProfile, all about E4J. So also I mentioned E4J and Java EE, and in my own heart, I really want to get a lot of nice talks in the MicroProfile domain.
Because how many sessions are you gonna have Monday and 2 days? Or you said
2 days.
Right.
Yeah, good question. Let me find out. I haven't counted. I haven't looked at how many sessions. I mean, in that 2 days as yet. I have a look in the past to see.
Because I was just thinking, you know, when I read this, is very when it comes to MicroProfile, it's very technical in nature, the session. So you know, the guidance you're given here, and I don't know.
It depends. Like if you look at DevOps, UK is like just one line says this is track, so it's all different.
Because if I'm you know, if I'm debating or not whether to use MicroProfile, I would like to know, you know, how's it going to work within my existing legacy environment? How's it going to affect my development process? You know, things that are not very technical, but how is it going to affect the way I do things now? And I don't know. None of that is mentioned in these 3 lines. So.
Yeah, it's that 3 line doesn't is not. I mean, the full picture. It's just for example. And etc. Did you see and etc. And more.
Yeah, and more. Yeah, I was just thinking
the full list.
Expand them more to give people more, you know, get going thinking about other topics relating to MicroProfile. Just a suggestion. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah. I had a look. In the past, 1 day is 7 talks. So 2 days will be 14 talks.
14 talks total. Okay.
Yeah, about that, around that. So hopefully we can get hopefully MicroProfile can get 7 or 8 talks, or even more. Yeah, and then you can have if you go there, you can have a Red Hat booth, and then we have an IBM booth. I don't know whether it's David and Amelia. I don't know. I think it's Perry Met and need to contact you regarding the sponsorship as well from Tommy Choi.
We use the e-form. Stephanie sent the e-form to the vendors, and we can reply yes or no. Will you be interested in having a booth? So we already replied. We will not be Devox France. Not Devox. Eclipse France with booth.
You are not going to have a booth.
No.
Okay. Are you going to sponsor it?
No, because no booth, no sponsor, but we will see if we can have people, the drivers, attending and speaking on behalf of EE4J and MicroProfile, but it's too soon, right? Because everything is happening as we speak. So we will see later, but we have already used the e-form to reply. It's very simple to gather data.
E-form, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, you will directly talk to Perry. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is that all? Everything about this conference? Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, even though you don't, I mean, yeah, it's just feel free. I think it's all encouraged to submit as many talks as you can. Yeah, should have a good coverage about variety of the talks.
Thanks. Now, we just, talked about this conference in quite detail. We probably should start doing that on a regular basis with all the other conferences that come up as well. I mean, this is kind of the most prep that we've had for a conference. I mean, except for Java 1, but, something to keep in mind as we move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should bring up when the DevOps UK happening and etc.
So I think it's great. One thing that I liked that I saw is about DevNexus. Since we took the holidays off and David and I were in Ecuador, it was so nice to get back and see a thread started about DevX attending MicroProfilers, and that was pretty much led by you, Emily. Great job. And then when we had the marketing call yesterday, said, hey, Emily already started this, and we know who is attending, Reza, Ivar. Let's go to the doodle. I already replied. We're going to do it. The number, the first call might happen the second week of February. 4 people have voted on Wednesday the 7th. Let's vote on this. Let's join. Let's help. So it definitely helps to plan ahead of time. And I think the form used for Eclipse France and DevNexus is great. So we should do this more often. Just by
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to see a few people from Tommy Tribe to go.
I love it.
And the Red Hat and everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda was the e-forms, but I think we've already covered that.
They are going to be brought to the, go ahead.
Yep. And then the next item, I just put down the status of the MicroProfile 1.4 activities. I don't know that we're going to have a whole lot of status. John had a kickoff meeting last Friday on that. We had
or Ament? You need to be
Klingen, Red Hat. Yep.
Okay.
And so he kicked that off. There was a good discussion about the content of the guides, kind of a template. He was going to post his idea for the template. I don't know if he did yet. Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, he's working on it right now as he travels. He's going to be doing a lot of typing at the airport and on the plane.
Okay.
So hopefully by next week he'll have the first rough draft.
Okay. So I don't know if we had anything else to talk about there, if anyone had already started one of the activities or came up with an idea since Friday.
Right. So I think the agreement was that John was going to, he volunteered to be like the guinea pig.
Oh.
To come up with a template. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to pick a sub-project and develop the template for that specific sub-project. And then the next meeting, we're going to talk about that.
Did he decide on what the topic was going to be?
He didn't say. He said just to everybody, don't be offended if I don't pick your project.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
What have we done for 1.3 on the marketing side? Remember we delayed, it was released during the holidays, but did we do anything, or do we expect the marketing team to do anything to spread the word?
Well, so when the 1.3 came out, there was an announcement put up on the site. The messages went out on Twitter, LinkedIn, and I think that's all that we did really for 1.3. I think it happened on January 3rd, so most people were on vacation still.
So we missed it. How about, Kevin, can you answer this? Did anyone created short videos, not the 1 hour that Heiko and Emily wonderfully wrote? Like, that have been shared, but do we have any plans on creating short videos of the release and focus on the different parts? What is the strategy there so that marketing team can execute by directive?
Nope. I didn't do any, and I'm not aware of any plans.
Why don't we, and this is a suggestion, we did say in the last call of 2017 that we will create short videos to distribute the releases, little, right? And this will be like, go there and be, how to use different sections. Why don't we do that? Why don't we, create a plan to do a small videos of the 1.3?
Of the 1.3 features?
Yes, videos, not 1 hour, but 5 minutes. Yeah. Like, why don't we do that? Why don't we ask the community to help us? Those that have helped to help us. Each team lead can do 5 minutes. Clearly the editing will take some time, but that is something useful that will enable others to do. I think we're sucking at spreading the word in every release. It doesn't really matter if we go to 1.4 when 1.3 is still a baby on usage. So let's do some work on this. Let's ask for help.
The effort there is always organizing people and motivating them to do something. Which
you want me to do it too? I am happy to do so. But guess what? There's only one a minute, right?
That wasn't necessarily where I was going at, but what I was simply going to say is that there are people out there in the community who do seem to like to do video content, like Alex Teedledum.
He's here. He's in the call.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Yep. He is in the call.
Yeah, there we go. Feed him. There we go. So, do you want to do some videos, dude?
Alex is not only in this call, he's also in the marketing Slack for MP. So
he's off mute now. Go ahead, man.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, absolutely. Videos. I'm right on that. So yeah, no, I'm happy to jump in on any kind of evangelism type activity that's going around. I've got some spare capacity this year, which I didn't have last year. So I hope to, pass some of that capacity this way to MicroProfile. So yeah, articles, tutorials, blogs, videos. You know, I'm kind of open to what's going on, and yeah. So,
I mean, if you want to make a video about each individual spec or the ones that you think are cool and put them out on your channel, that's fine. We'll just retweet them like crazy. As long as the MicroProfile's in it, you're going to get our support.
They will also be added to that
interesting.
IO actually.
Right. So I mean, that part of getting people to contribute is motivating them. So the benefit to you is obviously it's going to be your channel and your name all over it. So and all of us retweeting it. So if you made a video about like MicroProfile config or MicroProfile JWT, all of us are going to be retweeting that thing like crazy.
Okay, that's great. I mean, I do have one activity I've been asked to do with relation to MicroProfile, which I'm doing in February, which is just to write an article for IBM DevWorks. They want me to do a quick sort of overview. Those kind of articles tend to get pretty good coverage on their website. I've been working there with I think it's Jenny for about 6 months now, publishing various articles. So that's definitely coming up. And I think off the back of that, what I could do is, because it's going to cover probably about 5 principal APIs, it's going to be pretty short, like 2,000, 3,000 words. It's going to cover about 5 of the APIs. From those 5 APIs, I could spin off 5-minute videos or 10-minute videos, just kind of saying,
Alex, keep it 5. Keep it 5.
5 minutes? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep it 5.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah. No, 10 minutes is too long to edit anyway. So yeah, 5 minutes is great. So I could do a quick 5-minute video, spinning off from those APIs. I could even link through from, if I organize it properly. If I organize myself properly, I could even link through from that article. I don't know. I'll have to think about that and try and get myself. And in that way, you get links and visitors coming through from that angle as well, watching the videos. And I'm just thinking about traffic wise. Yeah, something like that. Let me just think. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, so I can do something like that.
Yeah, and if you want help making like title screens that are branded with the MicroProfile logo, I mean, I can approach our guy Ryan about maybe potentially him drafting up something for you, that puts your face on there and puts a MicroProfile logo, and so you have.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Yeah, proper graphics, because I'm hopeless at graphics. So,
right, exactly. So he's great at that. He obviously did the MicroProfile website and the current logo. So I'll just have to talk to him first, because he likes to be consulted before we just randomly make work for him. But I think we would be interested in help if you're willing to do part of the hard part, which is the video itself and the content.
Sure. Then
certainly we can help you with branding.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, branding help would be grateful. Yeah.
Alex, you already got the invite for the Slack MicroProfile marketing. Yeah. So through that channel.
I'm in it now.
Yeah, exactly. Through that channel, should you be stuck, you can not only send a note to the community and CC marketing, but also use the channel to say, hey, channel, or go to particular, do not use privacy in the channel, right? Just go directly there. If you're not able to say it to everyone in the channel, it's a waste of time. So just scale.
I get it.
Just say so. You know how it goes. He's a suspect. Don't waste your time or anyone else's. And thank you for joining this call.
Thanks.
Yeah, great.
Exactly.
So I really like this. I think we have done okay, I can go and to talk about MicroProfile, but it's really nice to hear what other people say. People will hear, oh, okay, what the other people think about MicroProfile. So this is great, Alex. Be able to do this video. That means a lot.
Stone soup.
Yeah. See, we are like Alex. You are part of the experience. We have an issue of scalability of knowledge, and you will be the first to lead the video. So thank you, Pioneer.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Walk the talk is my new thing. Walk the talk, otherwise pure BS. Next topic, guys.
Next topic. I don't. Well, no. I guess Emily just put another one in there.
Just on the fly. I just quite it's in the past we talk about MicroProfile and Istio service match. Is this kind of infrastructure, and also is meets with the MicroProfile programming model. There's some like we are trying to set up an ecosystem. So there's some talk in the past, a lot of conversations and etc. Now it's up to the point I think it's multiple people have done some initial research. I think it's time for us to create a repo and start to flush out all the issues and put the real code in and the real spec in. And so I just create a Doodle group, a Doodle site, and trying to collect people's responsibility to see. Really want to get a lot of people involved, like from each interested area, like fault tolerance and open tracing and JWT. We want to look at each area in return to see which bit we are doing well, which bit we might need to improve, and to make sure that our programming model works fine in the server is in the Istio environment. So yeah, so I just want to bring it up. I know in the discussion Scott mentioned this as well. I think we all have similar ideas. We want to get more people involved and to flash out ideas, and this will make our MicroProfile community looks is good as well, because we are not ignoring the infrastructure changes like Istio. So we want to work together to set up a better model for us.
Well, it might also help with trying to pull in help and assistance from the Istio team.
Yeah,
try to get them more involved in MicroProfile.
Yeah. So actually, it's, as of today, I contacted 2 Istio SMEs, and they are happy to join the MicroProfile as well. So I just create a Doodle link and trying to pass around and to get a group of people involved. So which means we have MicroProfile folks and plus the Istio folks. So we all work together, and I'm sure we will build a really nice model.
You once those talks are like the initial talks are like, hey, who are you? I think you guys are awesome. Can you invite those people from Istio to this call, specifically this Tuesday call, so that we can meet them and they can, we can ask questions. And since the calls are recorded, the talk shouldn't just show up and be like problem solve or awesome. Like, I think the communication needs to be in the open. So the Doodle pool is helpful. And if it's welcoming to everyone to join, if we have the time, we'd love to join.
Yeah. We'll let them have the calendar, and then when they are available, we'll let them know that this is a good option and encourage them to join.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I think I'm really, really looking forward to start putting some effort in. It's a joint effort exercise. It's not like being to be done by 1 or 2 persons. This is going to be a bigger chunk of work. So a lot of people need to be getting involved.
Good. Yeah, I think, some of us were involved at Java 1, talking with the Google team and trying to figure out whether or not they could get involved. But, really doing it this way, Emily, where you're, trying to pull them in at the grassroots to try to get their involvement, I think that's better all the way around.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's really, really nice to hear what they think. It's not like, we think what they need.
Let's call it guerrilla onboarding. I really like it. It's a little bit much more effective.
Yep.
Closing it. I think it's great. May I change the topic? I totally forgot. Yesterday during the marketing call with Red Hat, we agreed, Tommy Tribe and Red Hat agreed to buy 300 t-shirts, MicroProfile t-shirts. The last ones printed were a Java 1, and the newest design includes the Oracle logo. Though we will have Eclipse has given us some space on their booth for demos. And Amy, you are leading that effort to have the demo and whatever we're going to present, those ones attending DevNexus. And so far, because of lack of time, the t-shirts were ordered today, 300. Stephanie from Eclipse is going to send to 6 or 7 partners an e-form saying, will you like to participate on buying the t-shirts? You know, like it's just something that we will do. Regardless if they participate or not, we want to ask, not take for granted or not email. It's that the e-form is super simple. This is the budget, and so far only 2 partners will cover it. So I want to make sure that this group knows that the shirts will be ready, 300, to give away by MicroProfilers at the Eclipse booth. Eclipse has created a design that includes EE4J and MicroProfile. What is bothersome about the design is that it doesn't have any of the logo that we have created for MicroProfile. Oh. Because we're not sponsoring the booth or part of the booth of Eclipse, it seems that we are missing a little bit of why don't we have the MicroProfile logo and that, what is it called?
Banner?
Banner.
Yeah, the banner. So the statement made is that there's no logo for EE4J yet, so it looked really strange that there would be a MicroProfile logo and an Eclipse logo, but not an EE4J logo.
I don't see the problem.
So the remedy was to leave off the MicroProfile logo. What I would recommend is that if there's time for all of you, Red Hat and IBM, because you have booths there, to make a banner for MicroProfile and put the MicroProfile logo and use it at your booth, I would recommend doing so, because then effectively that's going to mean that the only booth to not show the MicroProfile logo will be the Eclipse booth, and then that might give pause to leaving that off in the future.
Correct.
The other thing would be
IBM. Sorry, Kevin, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the other thing would be to print off just the logo with, like some sticky stuff on the back and just go put it on their banner.
You will have a booth at an IBM booth at DevNexus, will you?
No, there's no IBM booth in the DevNexus.
Well, I have the banner from Java 1 from Eclipse, and it has a beautiful MicroProfile logo. I am supposed to use it on these calls, but the amount of time it takes me to put the thing, I will always be late because I'm always have calls before this call. So I asked, may I bring this banner, which is free. I have it.
We can put it in the Red Hat booth if Red Hat is willing to have a MicroProfile logo in your booth.
Yeah, because we have.
Well, I mean, that's not us for the answer. That's for Cesar to answer.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe we're gonna have that logo on our banner.
Good.
We're going through the planning calls right now, but
okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that even if Eclipse doesn't want to use the MicroProfile logo, we all still use the MicroProfile logo when we have a booth.
Yeah.
Right.
That was very strange reasoning on the Eclipse to not use the logo.
They don't want to use the logo, and we cannot demand it because we are not sponsoring the booth or part of the booth. But should they use the word MicroProfile, I think we should add the requirements that if a booth is going to use it, they must use the logo. We don't have the skeleton for when to use and how to use it, or PowerPoints. So it's on us, this kind of oversight. We have not been asked. We asked for the design. We have it already in the Google Drive for marketing. But I see that we will lose if we allow this to go on. The design work we have worked so hard that everyone loves.
Yeah, so, I just don't want to back off the logo because it's a good one.
Yep.
I want to keep the branding strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
we're putting so many things into pause mode for EE4J. I don't want to put anything
I don't either.
anything more into the pause mode.
Yep.
So we are in agreement. One of the dangers that I see when I saw that design, and Eclipse doesn't mean it, but now MicroProfile is being linked so hard onto EE4J. We are different things at the moment. And anything, even if we will align in the future and be a sub project, maybe, because there are the same partners and all the E4J in MicroProfile. Many of us are entangled. Yep. It doesn't mean that MicroProfile branding will suffer. We work too hard, enormously hard to get the new designs, and it is bothersome to see it being dropped just because it's not EE4J doesn't have stuff together. Yep. So in this call, I'm saying that will not happen in our watch. This is the call where we say, I don't like X and I like X. If you come to this call and you are not able to say, I think this sucks, we have a problem. I think the banner is a little bit sucky and I think we can repair it. We will bring the t-shirts. The t-shirts will include Oracle. Stephanie will send the e-forms to 6 or 7 partners. They can say yes or no, and simple. But I want to say thank you to Cesar from Red Hat for really quickly executing the t-shirts. I think it's great. We will bring some more MicroProfile fun to Dev Nexus.
Yeah, it was a bit, I was surprised to not see the logo.
Of course.
It was a bit shocking, but I mean, they made the point that they didn't want to have one logo for one project and not for the other.
And we don't accept it, and they know it. So then we use this code to say we are going to fix it in our own way because we cannot mandate our Eclipse booth. We're not paying for it.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're not paying for that booth, right?
If we were, that would not happen. If we were, you already know me. If we were paying for half, I would be like, no, this is not happening. But since we are not paying for it.
But to be honest, we're going to get a lot more benefit buying just a bunch of shirts.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We flood the floor, the conference with a symbol. Everybody's going to have a symbol on their chest.
I have
I
have a related question, but it's much more on the technical side. And the question is, with the latest revelations about Oracle, don't want us to further use the JavaX package name for new stuff. What about kind of thinking about IO MicroProfile as package name again? Is this still on? I mean, it's just a backup strategy, of course, but something which might be interesting because currently we let go so many things we invented or introduced initially, and yeah, the logo is just one more stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes. So for branding purposes, you would prefer we use MicroProfile?
It's not only, I mean, the branding is not on the only logos and stuff like that, but also our technical phase.
Yeah, right. I asked, so for branding purposes, you prefer we use io.microprofile?
If we, no, if the focus or the strategy for EE4J is to just keep JavaX for existing things and we have to move to a new package name, then why not research the old IO MicroProfile package name for the APIs, which are vendor independent? This is just...
So you mean suggest that for EE4J?
It's not, the thing is, what currently happens in EE4J, we've been there 2 years ago already. We are 2 years ahead of them. And why do we need to repeat all these things again? If Oracle don't want to continue that way with javax.star, why don't we continue the way we initially went with IO MicroProfile on the technical level? This has also to do with branding, of course. Currently, this is a split brain. I have
a meeting that's starting right now. But I will just simply say, if we wanted to use IO MicroProfile as our Java package for our specifications,
yes,
I would be fine with that personally. I think it's good branding.
Because
I don't know how other people feel, but I would be okay with that. I don't necessarily need it to be org eclipse.microprofile.
The point is org eclipse microprofile. I've talked with many people over the last years, and it's still that if they hear org eclipse, then it's in their head eclipse is a vendor. And with Glassfish, with getting Glassfish, they are a vendor. And you can't get this out of the heads of the people. And even if it would be MicroProfile under the umbrella of Eclipse, and we would have all IO.microprofile stuff, it would be, in the people's mind, it would be something totally different. And for the vendor-neutral APIs, this would be something to consider again in the long run. But what I see is currently that EE4J and MicroProfile is doing kind of the same things. Yeah.
It would be for 2.0 that would probably be able to easily make a package change.
But there is no mandatory rule for being part of Eclipse that our package names have to start with org Eclipse. Okay, got it. No. Make it XYZ or whatever. Got it.
Vertex also doesn't use org Eclipse.
I'm fine with it. I don't know what other people think, but
I think we should, Mark, start a thread and ask the community for feedback.
My only feedback, it would obviously only be 2.0 that we would be able to do such a change.
Yeah.
I mean, the question for me, I looked at the E4J stuff for a few months now, and the initial hope was that we could the community could take over where Oracle left off. And this means actively creating vendor neutral standards. And this means you have a package name, you have a brand which is known to be vendor neutral. And this is the JavaX and the JCP. But if we're not allowed to do JavaX and we're not doing JCP anymore, then what is E4J all about? I mean, this kind of
let me correct you in the sense that the JCP is still there and the community can still decide to use it. It's just been discussed that it's not the preference. But you are allowed to decide your own preference.
Okay.
Mark, I get what you're saying. Some of the community are concerned that EE4J will become the next Oracle on how the JCP worked, by Oracle leading the the specifications and all the things. But
unfortunately, I have a tight list of
my computer is going to shut down.
So unfortunately, I have a tight list of meetings today, so I have to split.
Yeah, even here.
But good conversation. Maybe the wrong forum for it, but if we want to use IO MicroProfile as the package, that's definitely relevant for us to discuss, and I would certainly support it as long as we timed it correctly.
Okay, I think that's good for today.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Good night.
Bye.